Hey, what's up, everybody? GleeCon here, and we are going to kick off another episode of Lore of Warcraft today with a Felwood continuation. So we are almost completely done with our completionist walkthrough of Felwood, which brings us closer and closer to being in the final set of zones in the game. This is kind of that last little clutch of zones. We finished it with Alliance, and we're pretty much done with Horde. We're just in the last couple episodes because we've got a lot of Timbermaw rep to grind to technically finish out this zone. Last night I dropped another episode of the Warcraft Duraton. I dropped chapter 3 of that novel read through that we're doing on the prequel novel to the novelization of the Warcraft movie. Interesting, but it's a pretty well written book by Christy Golden. So here we go. Stay a while and listen as Gleek and Soul, Tauren, Shaman Extraordinaire, jumps in to mostly kill Furble, but we're going to do a fair amount of wildkin killing too. Alright, so we landed here after picking up, I believe, Wild Guardians Part 2. Wild Guardians is a 3-part quest that actually leads into other quests in the Winterspring area. You can fight them down here, and you can fight them up here. I don't believe there are quite 13 wherever you go. And that's going to be dependent upon how other people have been killing in the area and a little bit of RNG, because I'm pretty sure they share spawn points with a second type, which are called Berserk, Wildkin Berserk or something like that. Berserkers. Unfortunately, the next quest and the final one that we will do in this chain, because the rest are tabbed as being Winterspring quests, is to kill all of these Berserkers, and that's kind of annoying because this is my example. Oh, raging. Well, no, that was a different kind. This is an example in my mind of something that does not make the game better. So one thing I really love about retail is if they wanted me to have a quest where I killed these Berserker ones, and they wanted me to have a quest where I killed the Moon-touched ones, they would find a way, story-wise, to make me go do those things together. Why are you making me go here and then go all the way back to Bloodvenom Post to then come right back to the exact same spot and kill the other type of mob right there? To me, that's just like a lazy way to extend the amount of time. I don't know what the best way is. I don't like any of the forced time extensions, but that is part of the job. I feel like maybe I could find a way to do that, but what they do now is just jam-pack you with... I mean, you're never going to please everybody, I guess, but if I was going to design a game that pleased myself, so a masturbatory type of game, I would do away with, like, endless dailies and world quests, or I would at least greatly reduce those, and I'm trying it without totems just to see how it goes, because it's a little mana intensive to keep dropping totems every time. I hear him. See, we can hit him with that to take off his hot that he had, and then he hit me with a moonfire to be a jerk.
Inventory is full.
Oh, great. I probably should have sold while we were sitting right there. I absolutely should have sold. Guess I'll eat one of these. I don't really know what to get rid of. The giant eggs are going to keep dropping right now. All of these are really... The Frost Saber leggings are not going to sell for a lot. It might be a travesty to some to toss it, but honestly, that's what I'm going to do. I don't really care. I mean, it's probably would get us 30, 25 gold, something like that. Crazed Owl Beast, maybe that's the other one. I don't remember what the other type is. Moon Touched are what we're after. We can probably, when I did this on my first one, I think we can get to the end of the road. And, now this time I'll try with totems because I see a friend right there. I'm not going to drop fire because there's enough pats around that I worry about my fire totem getting a little too happy. And I'm going to let this hot... Yeah, it's kind of annoying. Is it worth the 146 mana to purge it? Maybe. Maybe, because it is extending the fight a little bit here.
I can't carry anymore.
Okay. What else can we drop? I think... I don't want to drop the Cenarian plant selves. Not particularly. Heart of the Wild, I feel like, goes with some of my gear. Warbear leather is nice. Got a bunch of cured thick hides. I probably need to stash some of those. Regular old heavy leather. Meh. Okay, I could drop this empty firewater flask, since that will continually drop. We'll probably get some more on this episode. Okay. As people have commented, why don't I just not loot them? Well, I really do. First of all, I really do believe that when you don't loot them, they will respawn. I'll go ahead and eat this other one. That way, I have an open spot. I really do think that it makes the bodies take a lot longer to despawn, and therefore no one respawn. I'm not sure, but I think so. That's I've heard a lot of talk about that kind of thing. Oh, there we go. No, that's the next kind, the berserk ones. Oh gosh, why? So there's a moon touched over there that I actually do want, but okay, there we go. Just gotta be careful because these guys are like level 58, so this is the highest level thing in this zone. They will. It just means that with us also being 58, they're gonna aggro. Yeah, I guess it is worth it to stop the hot. Ow. Come on. Those are neither of the kind we want. So yeah, it's just about... There's another moon touched. I think this one's close enough I can bring it back to my base. I like to think of, when I set totems down, I like to think of it like a little base. That might be silly, but... like I was in the middle of... like that. Excuse me. Anyhow, yeah, I just... if I could make my own, I think I would minimize some of that. I think maybe... I guess, what could you really do? Like, what would be an alternative way to prolong the life of your game? Because ultimately it's a business, so you have to incentivize people to continue playing the game, and that's why you get end game phenomena with a lot of any kind of game. So what are some activities? Well, PvP is... that fulfills that goal automatically. Like, you know, if you have PvP, the ability to unlock PvP rewards and move up through the ranks in PvP. So I'm not against having PvP because it's such a crowd pleaser. So many people like it. What I would do if it was me, if I had my druthers and I was making my own PvP or my own type of game, I would make it to where whatever rewards that you get from PvP, maybe not cosmetically the same, because, you know, you want people to feel special. For going on their particular path. But any kind of gear rewards, like the fact that there's so many different, like, essentially rating and pre-rating best in slot gears that comes out of PvP in WoW Classic, that essentially mandates you doing PvP if you want to be really good. That's unacceptable to me. I don't think you should have to, in order to be like elitely competitive, I don't think you should have to do extensive amounts of PvP, and that's the way the game exists now. You really want to be meta, like edgelord, constantly being able to poop post how awesome you are. You gotta do PvP. There's just too much good PvP gear. So I would get rid of that. I would make like concordant rep available from other ways, whatever that is. You know, I think so whether that's from dungeon content or whatever, you know. The second thing I would do, so that way you could keep everything, you could still have people that want to do PvP going after it that way. But you're not forcing anybody or weakening anyone that doesn't want to participate in PvP. That'd be step one. Step two, I would eliminate the entire concept of GDKP and all of that by making one simple rule change, which is everyone has their own unique loot table when they loot in dungeons. You're never rolling on gear that drops. Now you say, okay, well then how are you going to incentivize people to over and over? I mean, you'd still, if you wanted to, you could make the drop rates slightly lower, but then there's just never any contention, there's no ninjaing anything. You'd still have the effect of like, oh, such and such a mob doesn't drop the thing I'm going for, so now I'm quitting this dungeon. Because, like, I've killed the first, boss 2 is the one I need. I don't need anything past boss 2, so now after boss 2 I'm going to drop out. And, I mean, whatever. So then you could still do that, and you could still do a little, what is that, like the deserters debuff or whatever you get. All that, I think you should still deserve that. And heck, make the deserters debuff longer to really mess with the people that go that route. Okay, now it's time to eat some like real food. I'm gonna save my moon touched, and let's go with, I could go plantains, but let's go ahead and keep eating these grilled squids that we have from before. We have 9 out of 13, so we haven't really had. So that's not good. I'm gonna need to get enough mana to cast Healing Wave. There we go. I also wasted my squid because he came up on me. It's a bad spot. I should have checked my 6 before I ran this. Might end up pulling this berserk one too and be a real world hurt. Okay, let's try that again. Waste this, another squid. Yeah, so I like that idea. I particularly think it's cool. I love the idea of what they've done recently with the solo dungeons. Go for that. I think that's cool too. But for those that want and can, I think teaming up with real people is fun. If you have somebody like on your schedule, but when I just want to go and experience the lore or whatever, like they should have that. Or you know what? Do that. Have a story mode dungeon experience. That way you can take your time and experience the quests, read the lore, and not be rushed. I love that idea. That would be really cool. Parts of it could be more on rails if you need, whatever. And if you really wanted to, you could, you could reduce the loot tables, or make loot, like, not an option for it. Or whatever, just whatever. Make different loot. I don't know. I don't need to work out every single kink here. This is just like my fantasy. So, I don't like hate the idea of dailies. I think I would. It's tough because you gotta. I don't think my game would be massively popular because. Or, you know what, I like what WoW actually does, where WoW has been making a big push lately to create exactly what I'm talking about. Different paths to accomplishing the same thing. So, like, let's make it to where, like, if you want to get good and get gear, you can do it by running dungeons. By raiding, by doing PvP. Like, they've been trying to make that. Except I think they need to add an option to do it by dailies also. But what I would add, one extra level I would add in is, like, if you're a completionist, adding that to, like, let's say every time you do a quest that you haven't done on that character before, you get currency in the same way that you would get it from doing a daily. So instead of going and doing dailies, what if I'm level capped, but I still want to go do every quest in Dragonflight or whatever? Well, now I can still get those from doing unique quests that I haven't done. And all the other grindy stuff, tie that into achievements, because then you know if you're going for achievements, you know you're going for a world of hurt. By the way, we went through this cave. This is like a small little, final little alcove you can go into with these moon touch. Or really all of them, not just moon touched. But we are down to needing just 2, and I see one here. I see one. It's not the right kind. Either way, we can hopefully be there soon. So, and then also same concept of rewarding alt experiences. Once you've reached level cap, you could then collect, like, the currency should be account wide, and then you can be pooling it as you level alts. So what if I like leveling alts a lot? Then I get the unique currency from completing quests for the first time on an alt, and cast that hot again. Stinking. He cast the thing and hit me with Moonfire. He cast that 3 times. Shark. So, that's what I would do, because I'm a completionist. I don't love PvP. I would do it. I will do it on this show. I have done it in the past. If it's the only means to my end, I'll do it and I'll like it. But I really like making alts, and I really like being a completionist. So, or tie some to achievements too. Why not? Basically, I think they should tie it into whatever activity. So you could be rewarded, and you can get up on the power scale. So in case I wanted to hop in to doing some later stage content, I would be good with that. And I don't mean like, oh, throw me a bone with a couple, purples or whatever. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to be able to do like higher level mythic pluses. Now, what are some downsides? Well, you might have people that reach the higher levels of like mythic plus or whatever, and they're not actually prepared and equipped. But you still, don't delete third-party sites like Warcraft Armory or whatever. And that you're just going to have to hope. But some of those things, like, I like the idea of mythic plus, because you're forcing people to run together. You do eventually, ultimately, you do have to sort of, that has to be part of the experience. You kind of have to do some forced interaction. But I don't understand why you have to use Group Finder. Why you can't use Group Finder for Mythic. I still don't understand that. Like, I understand pugs suck, and forcing the to not use Group Finder forces communication, so you're forcing something of a pre-existing. I wonder what the data shows. I wonder if they tested it in beta, and they found that the failure rate of Mythic Pluses when you could use Group Finder for them was just too high. I wonder. Or maybe I just haven't played retail in a year or so maybe that is something they've added in. Anyway, that's some of the areas that I would start. One of the things I don't like is, I don't know actually if I like it or not, but this whole push to lately to have like every class be able to beat every race. Not sure how I feel about that. It just seems, from like a New Age Dungeons and Dragons you can do that, but it does like strip a sort of RP element out of the game. You can miss me with Tauren rogues, or like what else? Like light. I'm not sure if all of these exist, but like a Tauren warlock or a light forged warlock. It just seems weird and unnecessary. I wanted to get over this hill, but I can't. Maybe I can. Oh, that rock is blocking. Maybe I can do it right here. That's something I just need less of. I would rather have... I think each expansion also should contain either a new class. I'd like a new class. It's easier for them to add races. Class balancing is infinitely harder. And the most recent one that they did where they added Evoker was like a smack in the face. That's poop. Alright, we're going to fly back now to the other post. Pick up
Where would you like
quest.
to fly to?
I don't know that we're going to do it right now. But we will at least fly there. Anyway, so those are just some ideas I have for how to kick off, or just how to tweak and make things cool. Now, I don't have... They have created such a cool universe in World of Warcraft. It's, 20 years in the making. I did hear we're going to get some new content soon. And when we hit retail, things will run faster. It's going to be fun. Again, I'm going to have to do it. At some point, I'm going to have to really do a real breakdown. We're going to have to look at how much does it take, how much XP does it take to get through a particular... Like, okay, let's say I'm leveling an alt in retail, and I make a Blood Elf, because we start with Burning Crusade. So I make one in what's it called? Eversong Woods or whatever. And then I also do the Ghostlands, because those two are Burning Crusade, basically exclusive content. Okay, and then from there, like, just doing those two zones, will I be high enough level to hit the Outland? Well, in retail, yeah, you can hit Outland whenever you want. So, like through Chromie Timeline or whatever. So then we move over to that. That's fine. But like, at what point am I so leveled? I guess what we would really have to do is like count the number of zones, and see, once we get a retail map going, how realistically can we complete these zones, and how many can we have? Because like I said, in a perfect world, we're going to have one of each class. So let's just take a peek here at retail and just see Warcraft retail classes. Okay, so we'll just look at this website. All right, so we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So there are 13 classes, which I could have just counted that off the top of my head. Now let's see, Evoker Legion class hall, is that a thing? So at this point, it says Legion Remix. Evokers, should they add a class hall? It says guarantee there won't be class halls. Okay, so that means we can skip Evoker. So since Evoker will never have Legion class halls, the reason why I keep bringing this up is because we will have, we have to deal with, if we want to be a completionist, we need to experience every class hall. And really, we need to experience it on Horde and Alliance. So we need 12 class halls. Okay. Alright, let's turn in this Wild Guardians too.
I sense that you are enjoying your work, and I believe that we are onto something here.
You sense incorrectly, fool. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a peek here. This gives us our Wild Guardians 2 completed, and I did not get a lot of that done yesterday. Alright, so all we have left is Wild Guardians 3 and the 2 totems that we cannot do until we reach the appropriate level here.
Runners have returned from Winterspring with reports that there is a series of small caves in the southern area of Winterspring. It seems that there are wildkin situated in the area around these caves. If there is something valuable that they are guarding, I believe that this is the place we will find it. You will find these to be more of a challenge than the previous types, adventurer. The creatures seem to have gone mad from exposure to the very thing that they strive to protect.
Okay, show me where we can play. All right, so if you start thinking about what we have here, so we will start with Burning Crusade. So obviously, all right, so that means we basically need a minimum of 12 characters per. So we need 24. Now, if you start at Burning Crusade, we're gonna get a Blood Elf and Draenei at their respective starting zones. That's gonna be one of each. Okay. And then after they do their 2 starting zones, they're moving into Outland. How deep will they move into Outland with that? You know, how quick? So, how fast do you level in? Well, actually, you know what? It doesn't even matter how fast you level, because we can switch over to the Legion timeline whenever we want. And, okay, so there is one organic path. We wanted to just have one character from each to take us from their starting zone into Outland. So in a perfect world, that would, there's one for each. Okay, boom. Now we go to the Wrath of the Lich King. Wrath of the Lich King, I feel like you could, well, we'll have to get some Death Knights in for that one. So we'll do a Death Knight on each and go through that storyline. But I think it would also be, you could also do a second character. Wrath is fun enough that we could diversify and do a second character through Wrath, because you can start one on each of the 2 starting points and kind of make a path that goes through. So we could follow 2 different paths. And that's fine, because you could have, yeah, you could start on each of the 2 starting points with either faction and just work your way through that route. Or make a couple alternate timelines. So, so there's that. Then, so if we did 2 more characters each, so let's just say we did like Blood Elf Paladin as one, and we did a Shaman, Draenei Shaman, just to be like archetypal with it. Okay, then we hit a Death Knight from each faction, cool. Then we hit, now we do have a lot of races too, so if we look at Warcraft races, I think this is going to hit us a lot more, because there are the 3, 6, there's the 8 basic races on each, combined with all of these new races. So 6 more. So there are 14 total races. That's actually okay, because that's 2 more races each that we won't quite get to, but we will, those are, we can tie our, you can tie your Drakthir into the Evoker when you play that, and then we haven't hit Earthen, that's a new one, so you can tie Earthen into like a later expansion. We can basically save these until they come out. That's not going to hurt anything. So ultimately, there's 14 races, there's only 13 classes, so we will have to double up on one class if we want to see one of everything. That's fine. Alright, so rather than going to kill these wildkin right now, what I want to spend the rest of our time doing is working our reputation we will do the last Wild Guardians on the next episode. I just don't feel like doing it right now. We're gonna go over here and start. Oh man, I never killed. Never mind. I've got to sell. Not killed. Sell. I've never sold. Alright, I want to start working on rep. And then we'll continue this conversation because I love this. We're getting closer and closer to me having to truly map this out, so I need to consider it. We are at 660, yeah, so we need 2,340. So, if we were to have no turn-ins at all, then that would be, let's see, each one is 5, so every 200 kills is 1,000. So that would be 400 kills plus 360. Alchemy supplies. I'm looking for a blacksmith. I'm not familiar enough with Winter Spring off the top of my head to just pull one out of my butt here. Not a blacksmith, but a repair shop. He might be.
Can I show you my
No,
wares?
she can't. She's mining.
Good.
Yeah, so no turn-ins, it would be like 500.
I got what
Almost
you
500 kills. Alright, we're selling the long-standing. I don't know if I need these iron feathers. Let's look that up. It's not a site, bro. Okay, so this is used in recipes. It is a reagent for the various iron feather. Oh, but it's also swift flight. Oh, just one of them. That's Season of Discovery. So just this one thing, swift flight bracers. It is. Okay, so it is something. I should save them. I can save that, so I'll save the iron feathers. I mean, I guess I'll save the true silver bar, even though it's a little bit. Plot to save. We'll go. It's all right. We'll be generous with what kinds of with using our buffs. We'll keep eating and using different buffs while we're up there. All right, so we're gonna walk down and kill a little bit right here, just to get 5 more beads, and then I think I'll go through the tunnel into Felwood. The goal today would be, okay, obviously we are not going to be having to kill 500 mobs because we do have the delight of being able to turn in every 10 feathers or so. If or beat 5 feathers or 5 beads, we get 50. It's going to be where we get the majority of our rep from. So if it really truly is about a 47% drop rate, which it is in Deadwood, that's almost 50%. So you could make the argument that you're getting an extra, because every one of those feathers that you drop is worth 10 rep, basically, ultimately on the trade-in value. So if you're getting them just under half of the time, you're getting them they're just under 5 rep, an additional. So let's just round down and call it 9 rep per kill. So if we have 27, assuming we have perfectly average RNG, and that's a big assumption. Either way, you know, obviously it's a 50-50 chance only. We need 2340 divided by approximately 9. Well, first of all, let's look at 10 times 0.47. Yeah, so that's 4.7 rep. So that means every timber maul kill is 9.7. So we have, I mean, I should have known that, timesing by 10, but all right, so 2340 divided by 9.7 is approximately 242 kills. I rounded up. So we will need, that means we would need about 120 kills off of each episode. So we have about an hour. I'd like to get some of that done today. When we're in the Winter Spring here, drop rate's going to be a little lower. I'm just here because I want to get my beads done. Oh, this guy just spawned.
I'm out of range.
Perfect. Okay. So we are going to go ahead and start. Done. this area I feel like I will use my fire. Dang it. I was on global cooldown. So as we get into the grind here, we're going to start really working the math on this. So ultimately, not even about... By endgame, I want to have some of these other classes. So we'll work on other specs on camera. So when we get to Legion, we need to have everything except for Evoker. What's after Legion? So then BFA, we're going to already start working a second spec. Great. So cool, like not a big worry. That's what it is. Okay. Why did he seem to be? Oh, is he? I guess they're disintegrating. Or this guy's attacking some of my other totems. Alright, this is good. So this is a 2-for fight, and this will help me. Because I can start working on, you know, rejuvenation and all that. Eating something. Alright, let's go with another one of these bad boys. We'll start eating those. We have anything great that I can do? So we do have a second bead now. We got one from the first guy, actually, not any of these fools. Thanks, bro. I can't bow when I'm eating. Okay. So, that was nice of that person. Oh, we're technically in the same guild, so... Also, I guess, nice for that reason. Alright, let's see what we can do. Can I pull... Oh, I don't even have a base of operations anymore. So these guys are also kind of annoying to kill on this character. So that's another reason why I don't necessarily want to stay here. Those totem guys are kind of annoying to kill with me being a totem person too. I do not like the Pathfinder aspect too. I just don't like that. And then whatever the third type is, Den Watcher. That's gonna go the same no matter what. But like now I've got to try and pull this Pathfinder over. I'm not a fan. You have to get in melee with them. The only way. Because then you can trigger them, like their script or whatever, to not... For them to not want to shoot. But you can't pull them from far away with like tagging them with a shock. Because they won't give a crap. They'll sit there and shoot arrows at you. Okay, we got that stupid flask again. This is another Pathfinder, so we're gonna have to do the same thing. So that means that when we hit BFA, we will have, and potentially Legion. Well, no, we're gonna have so many characters funneled into Legion, we're not gonna need to do anything extra for Legion in terms of character building. But when we hit BFA, we will... BFA is also, I feel like, short enough that there's only 3 zones for each. We could probably get away with just doing one more character on BFA. And then Shadowlands, similarly, we can get away with it. But really, honestly, there's the different factions. Actually, no. We're going to need... When we hit Shadowlands, we're going to need to do the different factions. The 4 different... Now, do we need 4 on each? But we don't need to have, like, necessarily, if we get burnt out, need straight up new characters. But we could. If we want to have different alts and just play around with things. But, yeah, I don't know that we need them. I don't know if anything is different. I'll have to look on, I'll have to research when I start getting to it. Like, for instance, if you choose the... I can't even remember the name of the 4 factions anymore. Like, the Angel ones that are in Bastion. Is there anything different if you're Horde versus Alliance when you choose that particular path? My guess is no, but I'm not 100% sure. Alright. So, I'm going to set my totems down here. This is going to be a little annoying because we're going to be fighting 2 totem guys at once. No, we only pulled 1. Okay, so remember, the way that you fight these totem guys is constant kind of kiting. But I have to kite them around my little ring of totems. So it's a little bit more annoying. But if you fight them like this, yeah, then you can stay out of the way of that Moonflare totem, which is really what it's all about. Okay, got another bead. We have 3. I'm just trying to get to 5 beads. Now, some people, the trade-off if you decide to go on this, if you decide to farm here instead of Deadwood, is that you have a chance at dropping Firewater, which that's a huge trade-off for many people. That's enough of a trade-off. That'll get it. How many do I have? I have 4. I need 1 more bead. Okay, so we need to get 1 more. Well, we might need more than 1 more guy, but it's a dumb thing. Okay. A couple guys over here. Let's kill this guy. Those are the 2 most. I guess I'll set up a new base. He's going to call for help, so it's probably going to draw this other Den Watcher in just a second. So, having no mana right now. A little bit of potions. Very minimal. Okay, that's it. That's my 5th Spirit Bead. I'm not going to grind out here anymore, really because of the lower drop rate. Alright, so we are now up to 710. Cool. So that means we just gained 50 rep. So that means we killed 10 mobs. And remember, we need to kill around 242, maybe let's just call it 250. So we need to be killing around 125 mobs on each episode. So about 115 more to go, and we're about at the halfway point. I think that's reasonable. We might not quite get there, but we're going to see. But my goal is to get us halfway to where we were. So like maybe around 11,750. So about 1,000 more rep from where we're at right now. So if I can get about 1,000 rep on this episode today, then I'll feel good about us being able to finish tomorrow, because we have essentially the same quest we just had. We have to repeat the Berserk. There's more Berserk to the north, so we're going to go to the same area. We're just going to sift our way through and find the Berserk ones. Again, we only need 10 instead of 13. I do think there's slightly less of them. They're not quite as prevalent, but it's whatever. Alright, so yeah, when we run BFA, we might be able to get away with just 2. When we run Shadowlands, we're probably going to need 2 each. I don't think there's anything different between Horde and Alliance, but we will need 1, because we need to run all 4 storylines. Because each of those has like a class quest kind of, or a faction quest chain. Oh, you're fighting the Timber Maw, you naughty boy. Alright, so we're going to turn in 1 pack of beads for Selpha. Cool, so that's another 50. Not fighting those guys. And that gets us up to 760. So good on us, bully on us. Now Dragonflight. I'm trying to think. I don't think there's necessarily a storyline that goes along with that. This guy like dying? Do it on purpose? I don't want to help him though and get into. Oh, he's fine. I don't want to help him though and get him into trouble. Like get myself into trouble by helping that dude when he's killing my allies. All right, so what's after? Yeah, so Dragonflight. I don't know. I don't think there's any need to, like, we can probably just roll with some evokers and be fine. Off the top of my head, I'm not 100% sure. And then I don't know anything about War Within, so I don't know, like, can we just pick some Earthen and roll with them and be fine? Not 100% sure. Don't really know. We're going to find out, I guess. Alright, so... And again, leveling, I guess, doesn't really matter. It's just about the experience. So we will have the opportunity to gain some extra classes, some extra specs. We'll do it as needed. If we start to hit that max cap, we can always consider just going like, oh, okay, we're gonna, we're going to, oh, 1 damage counts as spell damage? That's cool, I didn't know that. Somebody just said that in chat. I don't believe I ever knew that. Alright, so we're trying to calculate how can we get to 12. How can we get to 12 on each before you get to Legion? Or by the time we get to Legion. Yeah, so honestly, 1 each is going to come straight up from the Demon Hunters that we spawned for Legion. Cool. Okay. So, that means we really need 11 more. I think we can get 1 each out of Outlands. So that means we need 10 more. We can possibly do 2 each for Wrath. So that means we need 8 more. Then that brings us into Cataclysm, where we have a lot of options. I think we could get, through the vanilla parts of it, 2 more each. Just through, like, 2 going through Eastern Kingdoms and 2 going through Kalimdor on each faction. So that's 4 more. So, what is that? That brings us down to needing... What did I say? I said, okay, we were at 11, so... We're at 8. So that brings us down to only needing 4 more. It's pretty good. We have got 1 headdress. We already had 1. Okay. So that brings us down to needing 4. Then also 1 through the actual Cataclysm lands. Like the later, so that's down to needing 3 each. Then Miss Pandaria, I think we could go 1 on that one. So that's 2. Then Warlords of Draenor. That's really 1 each. So that's 1 more. And that's the last one before Legion. Okay. So 1 of those we would need to break out a second one. So another idea of breaking out a second one, we could pull a second one out of Burning Crusade if we really wanted to. If we really wanted to. Barely got that off. Alright, let's eat another squid buff. Or we could do potentially a second one in Miss Pandaria. I don't love that idea. Warlords of Draenor. I do not want to do a second one of that. No, thank you. No, thank you. That's not going to happen. It's not going to be Warlords of Draenor. It's not going to be Warlords of Draenor. That's not happening. I mean, honestly, Cataclysm is so cool with the way it's spread out and the world is so big. Yeah, I think if I really wanted it... Or we could do an extra one with Legion. Because you could have the Demon Hunters, but then you could also have like a second set for that. Alright, so we were already at... We've been getting some good drops. We're at 7, so we already have 1 extra, just to keep in mind. So we're really at 840 here. Okay, Avengers, remember, should be the first priority kill. Den Watchers should be last priority kill. You do not want Den Watchers if at all possible. You do not want to kill them until everything else is dead. Getting low on. There we go. As I say, I need a kill here. These totems are up. Yeah, so I guess what we'll have to, another thing we can do is count by zones. Because in, I mean, the zones are very densely packed in the expansions. But once Cataclysm comes out, those zones are pretty darn densely packed also. Alright, we're gonna move our base over a little bit. It's up there killing. This is the Den Watcher. So I guess that's another thing that we could do. So let me think. So if we really look at maps of the different areas, we go from there. That's another idea. And we count the number of zones. I think I need to eat a plantain. Alright, so somebody might have just aggroed onto me. That's somebody up there killing, yeah. Alright, so if we just kind of spitball retail WoW map. Let's see if we can get a big map by expansion. This says the real map. Yeah. Oh. See. Wasn't really paying attention. I guess my searing thing called him. But our life got up, so that's fine. This is an Avenger. No worries. I think we're at 8 feathers, which is good. Yep. So. Maybe I had more feathers than I thought to start. Now we need to keep ourselves off from being lost. Okay. So that brings us to 9 feathers. Try to pull this guy and we'll kite him all the way back to our base. That's a trio. We could maybe consider fighting those guys. Maybe that dude's gonna do it. I don't know. But yeah, our staves is, there we go, so that's 10. So now we have 2 turn-ins, we have 100 extra reps, so we're really at 915. Remember, the goal is to get around 1800 rep. So 915 rep is where we're at. I do not want to fight those 3 without, oh, that dude aggroed those? Perfect. Oh, bro. Okay, that guy created some serious issues. He just brought those people over around me, aggroed every single person. Now they're after me. Okay. Let's try this again now. That was lame. Okay, now we'll go after this guy. Start farming over again from over this neck of the woods. Alright, so... Ow. Rude. my fire totem, that's fine. Lightning v lightning, bro. Come on. Every time I think he's ready to engage, he goes back to the lightning. I feel like lightning shield should like interrupt lightning. Cool. We go for this Avenger right now too, because I'm like kind of borderline of needing to rejuvenate. All right. So anyway, I'll really have to kind of get down to brass tacks, and I think almost these quests are going to give you more or less like the same junk once you get to the zone. So like if we look at this map here, you have Moonglade is not really a questing zone, so you can ditch that. But Teldrassil is, Darkshore, Felwood, Winterspring. Hyjal counts as the Cataclysm expansion. Ajara really is now. It has a ton. Duratar, Ashenvale, Stone Talon, Barrens, Desolus, Mulgore, Dustwallow, Thousand Needles, Feralis, Silithus, and Goro. Thousand Needles and Shimmering Flats are not two separate zones. We'll call them that. And Tanaris. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So you have 17 zones in Vanilla WoW just on the Eastern Kingdoms. And you most likely, you don't need all of those zones. Come on, come over to my base. You just don't. So... Oh, I don't even have a base. Dang it. Okay. Yeah, I don't even have a base anymore. So, I mean, you need about 2 of those to level up. So let's say you need 8 decently sized zones to level up. Let's just spitball and say, or let's say we want to devote 8 zones to any particular given character. Okay, so do we have the same type of, do we have somewhere in that ballpark when we're looking at the Eastern Kingdoms? Let's take a peek. Take a peek at that one next time we rest. Do we have, my guess is yes we do. So that means that we are, like I said, we can get 4 characters running through these different paths. On each, we get 2 Horde, 2 Alliance. Because you can skip zones on retail, so we don't, I don't know. Okay, what's that for our headdresses? We're at 12. Each zone is a lot more like standalone-ish. In retail, it's not so many like breadcrumb go from zone A, but I also am going to have to really break down with spreadsheets and test this out. I mean, you know what, we can start the class hall quests also with characters, whatever characters we don't have, so like, we could also totally go another route at all. Really, there's a bunch of routes we could go. Like, we could essentially just play through any character whenever they hit their max, whenever they ding, we just stop them right there and roll a new one. Or at least stop them in whatever zone they're in. We could push through and do an entire expansion with whatever particular character. Oh, great. Coming to get me now. Come on. Okay. A little bit tighter of a squeeze than I wanted. I think his mana is better than mine. Jerk. He like pants like a dog. Alright, let's go ahead and eat another plantain. Actually, my well-fed buff's over, so we should look at that. Alright, so we are at 12 right now, so we're really at 965. Remember, I'm trying to get up to around 1700. It's doable. I'm going to have to bite the bullet and drink some water soon. We're just too low. Yeah, so that's just a conundrum I'm going to have to do. If I look over at this other map, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. That's kind of 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have 8 on the top. And then 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2. So we have 22. Way more than enough. So that buys some... So there's actually more. Okay, that replaced by plantains. So we could easily run 2 characters... I think we could easily run 4 characters through. Now, when we look at Burning Crusade map, okay, so one thing you have to keep in mind here is we're going to get 2 free zones before you even enter the land, for the 2 starting zones. The Ghostlands and Elwood, and I think like Azure Mist Isle and some other isle. There are 2 isles for Draenor. Okay, so that's something that has to be considered. Oh, I let him hit me with the curse because I was off. Not paying attention. Dang it. Hate it. So we can't do that again. So now I've got to sit here and... I mean, I can still eat. I don't want to eat. Calling for help. Luckily for us, no one's coming. Nobody cares about you, bro. Write this down. Yeah, it's time. I'm gonna have to drink. Alright, what are we at there? Just 13. So we've had a little bit of an RNG slump there. Alright, and then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 extra zones. So 9 zones total for each. I feel like that's just 1 run. There's no 2 runs coming out of that. So we're gonna want to run 1 character each. 1 horde, 1 alliance. And then we will ally them with the scryers and the whatever the other one's called. So that will be that's going to be how we do Burning Crusade. That's fine. So that's going to be how we start our retail journey. We're going to make 1 Blood Elf, 1 Draenei, and most likely I foresee myself going Blood Elf, Paladin, Draenei, there we go, we're at 14, Draenei, Shaman, and we just start in their zones and then go over to Outland and work the story that way. That'll be fine. I'm fine with that. Okay. Then, for Wrath of the Lich King, like I said, I guess let's check that one out. Maybe build a little bit of a new base. So we'll check that map out next time. I keep thinking I hear like Pathfinder arrows coming at me, but there can't be. Must be a hunter in the vicinity. Well, oh, this guy's shooting to draw them away, and then using his little not demoralizing shout, whatever the intimidating shout is, or whatever. Okay. Why this guy keeps coming over to me. after he wordlessly came and like ruined my fight and almost got me killed with his strategy, which I use that word loosely. I'm gonna let him do his own business over here. Although we could get more rep. It's kind of a wash because you can get more rep by killing them faster together, but you'll be having the amount of deadwood totems that you get. So if you are, and remember that's about 50% of our XP, of our rep I mean, is coming straight from those totems, with just under 50% of it. So actually I lied when I said more of our rep is going to come from the totems. Actually only 47%, roughly, is going to come from the totems. He hit me with a crit, I think, on that freaking lightning, chain lightning. So we're gonna eat something after this fight. It's gonna be time. We'll eat another plantain. And then it's gonna be time to look at map of, let's get rid of that. So now, map of Wrath of the Lich King. Alright, so when we look here, now the only starting zone is the little Death Knight zone, which we will do. We'll roll Death Knights. Then there is 1, 2. Winter Grasp is not really a zone. 3, 4. Neither is Crystal Song, really. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so there's 8, which that's really just one run. Okay, so that means that we're only getting 1 out of so we're getting 1 out of Burning Crusade, we're getting 1 out of Wrath. But out of Classic, we are easily getting 4. So that brings us up to 6. Then you take Cataclysm. So next time we rest, we'll look at the Cataclysm maps. But I mean, basically, Cataclysm maps are, it was Hyjal. Oh, my face is gone. It's Mount Hyjal, it's Vajara. Okay, we got another headdress, so we're at 16, so we have 150 coming out of there. So really at 1,065. I don't think I want to try to pull that 5-pack right now. It's pretty intense. Alright, I am gonna go with just try. I'm gonna try. We're gonna go with something here. I'm gonna try my best to just go after this dude. Okay. I'm gonna hit this guy to the best of my ability. Okay. And now I'm gonna try to run. I got one of them without using. I mean, I did have to burn through my mana, burn through my various. Oh, dang it! I just pulled another guy. When you get dazed when you're running, it's so sad. Just him, though. Okay. Alrighty. So now I'm going to go back, now that I weakened that area 1 spot. Get that Avenger. Okay, we got another headdress out of that bad boy too. If I want to do this, I need to chug these Morning Glory Dews. Which I guess I can. Alright, I guess next is going to be... this Avenger may be back over there. I don't know if... I think he might get pulled with the whole group. maybe not. Maybe not. Okay. Then I'm gonna pull this shaman next. Because he's gonna be, I think, easiest to focus burn down. But I just want to kill this, even though it's more trouble than it's worth. I just want to do it once. Okay, cool, perfect. Oh, I guess we are pulling that guy right now. Okay. Oh, we did not pull that guy though, so that's perfect. Okay. I just want to get close to my little base. Alright, so we were able to get that guy, I love it. And now we can fight the chieftain 1v1. And we have my totems up. That's cool. Yeah, that's fine. That was good. He calls for help like a Den Watcher, but I think we've got him in a nice spot where no one can hear his... Oh, I did get cursed though when I wasn't watching. That's why my healing was off. He dropped a feather for us too, so we're now at 18. I need another plantain since I can't heal through normal means for the next minute and a half or whatever. Lame. Alright, so let's look at a Cataclysm map. I don't know what you can really look at it. Okay, so yeah, you get Deepholm, you get Kazan, so when you start goblins, they get a zone. You get Mount Hyjal, Uldum, Vajir. Tolbarad is like a PvP thing. That's an endgame thing. Those are endgame, I guess. Twilight Highlands. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, those are the 5. There's 5 new zones. Plus a couple other stuff. But the 5 zones are pretty extensive. So I would say, if you're being realistic, like, we can probably run 1 character each through there. And that's fair. So if we have 4 characters each going through that, maybe even 5 characters each, you might even be able to hit 5 characters each going through Classic. I think that's where we can get an extra one, really. If we go through Classic, you're going to get 5 characters each, one through Burning Crusade, 1 through Wrath, 1 through the post-game Cataclysm. So now we're looking at 6 characters each. So 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 8. Okay, so we've got 8 characters now. We need... Then that brings us to Miss Pandaria. So we need to look at a Miss Pandaria. But I suspect that's going to be 1. So that would be 9. And then Warlords of Draenor would be 10. So we're still coming up short 1. We're still coming up short 1. Now, and when you think about what happens, like, Wrath, you could start, like, there's 2 paths on Wrath. Cataclysm, you can take whatever path you want, but whatever. Miss Pandaria, though, I'm pretty sure it's 1 path. You're going through the Jade Forest and then making your way around. Again, we'll look at a map on that one, but I just don't think it's doable. Same thing with Warlords of Draenor, because I'm pretty sure it's like 1 path. Like you can't, I don't know. Yeah, I got that guy, he walked up and I smashed him. Hulk smash. Hulk smash so good. Yeah, we're making good progress on our killing here. Yeah, this is just, these guys, even though they're annoying, they're easier to take down than the ones in Winterspring. I don't know, even though they're only one level different. At least for this character class. I don't know that it's true for every class, or for every level, or whatever, but... That curse is annoying, but we have a nice, easy, cheap interrupt. Like when I was doing this on Mage and Druid, it's okay because you can remove curses. So the fact that I couldn't really interrupt it very well, not a big deal. On our Paladin, it was a pain because we had to be very... We have 2 interrupts as a rep Paladin. So we just have to be very judicious about saving our interrupts for that, only that. It's a little bit more annoying. Or interrupts easy because it just has a 6-second cooldown. And it's essentially free, so... Really not that bad. I'm actually going to start a new base. We do need another food. We can eat this one. Yeah, so actually I forgot. How's our... Yeah, see, we're only at 6. We're not gaining Morning Glory dues. Uh-oh, I just pulled the whole squad. Dang it. Now I have to save myself for healing. And this Den Watcher is going to get mad. Now we gotta take him down. And I just got cursed. Get out of here. Gotta use this anyway, just for the little bit of life, but once that curse hit me, I'm cooked. I guess that's another downside if you're fighting 2 at once. Can't do it. Good. Alright. Stupid idiots. And their stupid idiotness. Let's go ahead and... Actually, I'm wasting a plantains. Actually, he might ruin things for us. Yeah. Okay. That's alright, so after this one we will... I mean, I gotta really be better about buying drinks. I don't know why I am so averse to that. We just need it as a shaman. Alright, let's go ahead. We have our last little one of these to drink. Okay. Let's look up a Mists of Pandaria map. Alright, so first of all, there's the turtle... No, I don't want a video on YouTube about it. Alright. We have it pulled up for next time. You little so-and-so. Just have no mana. Oh, didn't watch her call for help again. It's gonna be an Avenger, so he's gonna freak out and get strong. Just use some time on that. Little short interrupt. Come on, get him. Why? I don't understand, yeah, why he's not... Why he was being so... difficult. Now I feel like I've got to save for heals again, because... enough to the bottom that I feel like no, you will not heal. You will not curse me. Alright, now we'll go with a plant. Fine, I'm gonna drink one. Just, if I run out, I run out. Alright, that's what they're there for. Okay, so this is like the Isle of Dread, which actually is a part of it. There are a couple side islands for the expansion parts, that really are actually should be taken into consideration when leveling in this area. So you can kind of think of it as 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, plus the starting zone. So this is around 10. All right, so you could consider running 2 through Missa Pandaria. If I had to pick one I was going to run through 2 with, I would consider Missa Pandaria. I also like playing Missa Pandaria. Fun little area. But I'd rather not. Because a couple of those zones are, you know, not the best for trying to count as a full zone. Like the Isle of Time and the Isle of Thunder. And the valley in the middle. Oh, there's also... There we go, we got a feather. Also, there's this tiny little area, like somewhere. I don't remember where it is, like right here or something like that. Alright, so we're at 19. We need one more, and then we'll do another count of our headdresses. We're doing okay on time. I think 11:30 would be a normal episode length for us. Let's check on the record time. Yeah. Actually today, exactly. But more important is I want to get to I want to get to that cutoff on rep. Like that's actually the most important thing. All right, we're at 20, so that's 200 rep extra coming. So we're at 1,205. So like I said, I want about 500 more rep today. So that's pretty a lot. 500 more rep is not nothing. And we'll just see how fast we can get it. But this is good because it means that today we're getting like half the grind done. If we can get to that 500 more mark, then I will feel confident we can finish this zone tomorrow. And I'm excited. I want to because I'm making good progress. I should also be finishing. I think I'll finish. I anticipate finishing Ungoro Crater on the my prep part. I anticipate that today. There's a small chance it won't happen till tomorrow. Very close. I have 2 quests on each to do, 4, and then I'm working on grinding out my 50 Ungoro slimes right now. I will do that right. I'll probably do those slimes when I get off here today. I will at least finish the final Larkawi questline thing. That's gonna happen today for sure. I just don't know if I'll finish It's Dangerous to Go Alone on both accounts today. So if not, I will wrap that up. It'll be done tomorrow for sure. And then I will be starting Blasted Lands, which is the final zone. Blasted Lands, I'm doing a Sunken Temple run, making sure I have character class stuff done. That's the last thing to do before starting the end game set of zones. Which, in my opinion, you have Western Plague Lands, which is a borderline end game zone, so that'll be our first one to get us transitioned over to that concept. End game. And then we will have, and then I don't know what order I'm going to do things. By quest difficulty? No. By quest difficulty... Okay, so now we're getting to the part where I don't have any more of the generic freebie... I could start burning through some of my lamer potions. Because now I'm starting to drop these, so why not? Let's go with that one. Ooh, alright. Do I want to try to go for 3? knowing I'm gonna... Okay. Set up a little base right here. Hit this guy. We're gonna see if I can get at least one. If I can get out of this without too much drama. Okay. Okay, it's a maybe. What I really need to do, what I really need now is to... Nice. Okay. I need to not get cursed to the Deadwooded. Oh, I am gonna get cursed to the Deadwooded. Yep, I just got cursed. Deadwood cursed. Okay. But I killed 2 out of the 3. And my life is okay. Just wanted to get that. So now I will interrupt all of this fool's. Let's get that going again too. I will interrupt any spell he casts. Doesn't look like it's going to be anything. Okay. Cool. Where are we at? 22. I don't think I have any great food to eat. Oh no. Dang it. Even with half healing, look at that. Oh, it didn't really give me that much. Dang. That's messed up. Gotta get that one. I'll go on another one of these potions. Even though, yeah, that did nothing for me. Whatever. Oh, well, I can potentially eat one of these, so I guess I'll keep that open if I get into a real bad situation. I'll eat that whipper root, because that's like a free potion, not on a potion cooldown. There we go, I got another heal. I have another heal in the chamber if I need. The Curse of the Dreadwood is making things difficult for me. Alright. I'm gonna wait the 17 seconds. Then I'll pop a heal off. Okay, we just gotta be. I gotta be a little bit more conservative right now. Alright, let's go with this Den Watcher. I just need to keep mana going, and honestly, the Stone Skin saves me some good. That saves life in the long run too. So no lightning right now. That's what I have to do, I think, to be a little bit more... There we go, we got another headdress. 23. Okay, let's go with this guy. Get over by my base. My base of operations. There we go. We're in the zone now. Okay. Yeah, I'll face tank that a little. This, I guess I could... try not to take. Got him. I will take that Strollus strength right off the bat. A nice strength buff is well appreciated right now. I could use it. All right, let's go back up here and keep the fight going. Give me your buddy. Okay, those are the 2 main ones I'll keep up when I'm on mana conservation mode. Base tank lightning bolts. And I will save my interrupts for chain lightning. Yeah. Well, we got another feather. We're up to 24. One more we'll be able to look up where we're at with our rep. One more feather and we'll do that. Except, only time I just want to get him into my... Okay, I think I'm within the radius here. You jerk. That's the sound of being critted in the face. Got him. Okay, we got a feather. All right. So now we have 250 rep from our feathers coming. So we're at 1315. 1,315. So we still need a little bit more than 400 rep. So we're probably... Oh, he resisted it. You jerk. Alright, we'll build a new base right here. This time I will put all down. Cool. Nice. Also a nice resistance on that. Love it. Okay, I'm going to try and pull these guys separately. So now we're at about 1320. I will try to keep a count going now. We're at 1320. That's actually too slow. It's kind of too depressing when I do it that way. Yeah, so today's episode will run probably, it's going to run a little 15 to 30 long because of... Alright, so here, if I get going with this guy here... No. Wait. Now, if they're already called, and I don't care about the... Oh, I didn't pull him? That's great. Awesome. That's pretty good. They're not cursing me either, knock on wood. That's great. They did not get cursed that entire time. Okay. Sure, they're calling for help, but it's whatever. Nice, look at that. The chieftain gives a little bit extra rep, too. So that's another great thing about him. Yeah, he gives 15. He's the same as killing 3. And now we just gained our first feather for the next set. That's great, great. Love it, love it. Alright. What do we have? Somebody just killed those. We can go back over here. Here's this guy. None's too shabby. Alright. Yeah, so I guess that's the our only real issue is the fact that I'm not going to be able to squeeze out, I'm trying to squeeze out 12 of each character, and I cannot see where 11 of each character before Legion starts, and I think I found a way for it. And 5 of them we will run through vanilla because it's so big, which that just gives you a frame of reference. Like, it seems like, oh man, we've been doing our classic walkthrough forever, but keep that in mind that it is a good 5 times the size of the other ones. There's 3 that just came right there. So I think if that perspective is maintained, then you'll realize, like, oh, it will be much quicker, much more smooth when we run through the other expansions. We'll be really back into getting a lot more of the side lore out of the way during each. I mean, now much quicker is all relative. Also, you know, we wasted. I wouldn't say wasted. I guess that's a little rough, but we had almost a year's worth of content where I got screwed and I had to reboot. So, can't understate that. Jerk, man. Like, he's within the range, but I'm not. Yeah, it is annoying to pull these shamans just because they you interrupt them, but they're not silenced from that field of magic, so they're ready to roll fast. And right now we're having a little bit of bad RNG on the drop dead feathers, and this is what happened with our when we did this in Glee Contessa. We just couldn't get it to drop. Like, we were having really bad drop rates on the feathers for a big, like an entire episode. So that will slow you down. Ow. Now we're gonna get we're gonna get hit with an Avenger Rage here. It is what it is, but okay. I don't know how long they're like. So you can't. You also it doesn't count as a magical effect. So. Clean. Oh, we got a Morning Glory Dew. Yes. Okay. That's good. I feel like on the shaman, I feel like I'm getting like a blue drop or something. Blue BOE anytime I get a Morning Glory. Anytime I get something to drink with. Yes. Okay, we finally got a headdress feather, 27. We have not... See, when they say this is a 47% drop rate, I'm skeptical. 47% drop rate... I don't buy it. I do not believe so, because that would mean on average, we should be getting one of these to drop pretty much every other guy. And that is not the case. It's just not. Even if you average it out, it just does not feel like the case. I don't know how they're getting that drop. You're online for 4 hours. After you clear your DMF buff, it will clear. Second option, you can log off an arrested area and it will push off after 8 hours. I don't even know what a DMF buff is. So I guess there's that. We are getting a bunch of rune cloth though. 80 will give us the rep we need. So we have another, I think we did Undercities. Oh, I'm gonna look. Me gonna look. Right now. Oh no, I'm scared. Oh, actually I can do it on the map. I'll be able to tell because I can look at the... No, we haven't. Okay, what about... What did I start with? No. Okay, so I haven't done any. Never mind, scratch that. Yeah, I did not do any of my rune cloth turn-ins yet. Oh, we got a super mana potion. It's me, a super mana potion. Ah. I'm gonna win. Welcome to my super mana potion. Alright, Oh, we got another Morning Glory Dew? 2 over the span of a couple minutes? Holy cow. Now how about we get some Deadwood head... Should we get... I mean, I'm sorry, RNG. I don't want to be greedy. But I would appreciate some Deadwood feathers. That's actually what's holding my time up today. That we are sitting at 27. We still need 3 more before we even get to the next turn-in. And is it going at a 47% drop rate? No, it's not. Wowhead, you're a freaking liar. Wowhead doesn't appreciate me talking about it like that. So it was like, oh yeah? How do you like not getting another one? Alright, let's go. I don't want to pull that guy. I was going to pull them since it's just two, but then a third one's walking up like a jerk, so... Oh, no. Alright, let's start a base here. I feel like even if this guy calls some friends... Yeah, okay. I'm going to set a whole base up. Yep, he did. Okay. Did not get... Oh, this is the chieftain too. Dang it, they got me with it. Freaking A. Lame potions. Oh no, they just pulled another one. Oh, he just got healed. Oh no, it switched me over to another one. Okay. I don't know. Yeah, I might be able to survive. Possible. Because got a headdress over there, that's good. Because my totems are all up, helping. Good. Oh my gosh. Not now. Yeah, now I might have to use one of my... I will use a Whipperroot Tuber. Come on. Now he's gonna rage. Dang it. Yikes. I don't know if I can survive him. That's a bit much. Okay, I can't. The rage part is making it impossible. That's the part I can't get through. That's pretty good though. No. Okay, good. The curse wore off too. Alright. So, not too shabby. That rage will wear off after some amount of time. Let me go. I want to make sure I can loot the rest of these guys. We could also go for another well-fed buff. I don't have one of those right now. Okay, so... little pile of dead bodies. I will... Sure... Drink a Morning Glory Dew, and what do we want as our well-fed buff, now that we're moving to another kind. So, I feel, the Poached Sun Scale, that's not too shabby. Okay, after that we have a bunch of these Wind Blossoms. I feel like the Sun Scale and the Wind Blossoms are kind of on the same tier for me. Alright, there. Alright. I want his rage to wear off before I go taking him on for fun. Let's get this grind going. Let's keep it going, rather. We're at 28. We need 2 more, and then we can look at... We'll take another peek at where we are rep-wise. It's always tough when an Avenger gets called over by a Den Watcher. You know, do you just bite the bullet and take down the Den Watcher, but then deal with the Berserk, or do you switch over then and fully take down the Avenger, leaving yourself with longer time with 2 mobs? All right, we're at 29. 1 more feather. this is going to help us. This health regeneration is going to be more helpful than the previous well-fed buffs that we've been having, so it's kind of nice. 6 health every 5 seconds. I mean, it's not. There we go. Alright, so that's now 300 rep. Okay. Didn't realize there was going to be a dude right there. Okay. I was going to check rep right now, but we'll check it after this fight. Then we're going to get to look at whatever rep we have and add 300 to it. Come on, you little smarmy jerk. Living leggings. Those are cool, actually. Really cool. That's a good set. I wonder if we can... That one might be like, hey, we can sell this in an auction house. I think that's a pretty decent... Because this is the healing spells and effects upgrade. It's pretty cool, but that's not what we have. It's not our cup of tea or whatever. Not our spec for leatherworking. Alright, so we're at 300 extra, so we're at 1490. So basically 1500. So around 250, 260, somewhere in that ballpark more we need. So getting there, so if it was just kills, it'd be about 50 kills. There we go, we got a feather. We're at 31 feathers now. Yeah, we'll just keep checking those feather drops as we go through. Because now we're going to be at 1495 with one feather through. Right, yeah, one extra feather on top. I think I'm going to move my base after this closer to over there. Make hygiene great again. I would not vote no to that. Some people are stinky. Alright, let's go with this Den Watcher. Come on, you bozo. That is not what I wanted at all. I mean, I guess I'm rocking it, though. This Flame Tongue Totem, I guess I'm gonna have... But I already have a, I'll put this one. To say, because that will either be useless or it will supersede my Wind Fury Totem. Neither one do I want that, because I don't think you can have both. I took that one out. Oh, great. Now I got all three. That was a little bit dicey there. Okay. Let's see what we can do. I heard him casting that curse. I heard it happening. I did not want that. Now, he might call someone from behind me. Okay, lightning I'm okay with. You can call that all you want. Come on. It's tight. I'll take those. I did get a feather and a mana potion. Love it. Okay. It was dicey there. It was dicey. Basically did it. Okay, good. Another... Okay, so maybe living leggings are not a common, because I just got 2 in a row. I will pop that scroller protection down. So maybe I'm not auction housing those. Alright, so here, where are we on these? 33 feathers, okay. I feel like the fell cloth is like more useful to people than like fell cloth is less common than any of that stuff. Now, some guilds do like yeah, there's so the guild says about a gold, and you can vendor it for 50 silver. So, yeah, the pattern's good. But oh, we got it. There we go, back-to-back feathers. Now we're at so that's 350. So we're at 1585. So 1585, so we're less than 200 away from where we want to be. So that's good. So about 165. We need about 165 rep to be, which we could possibly get that by around 12 o'clock. So this episode went a little long. Tomorrow's will run a little long too, because we're going to be in the same kind of boat. Yeah, the living leggings are cool. Okay, we got already another feather, so that's good. Drop rate's a little up on the feathers right now. Let's enjoy that wave while it lasts. Knock on wood. Okay, nobody answered his summons for help, so nice. I love fat Crint with a staff to the head. Alright, you bozos. This guy over here, we'll pull him back to my base. Even though I'm gonna have less than 12 seconds of base action. At least I have 20 seconds of mana resto. Yeah, by the time I got him there, the good totems were worn off. But I'll be over here for mana, and then I'm gonna move. I'll move my base. And my Wind Fury weapon is about to drop. Padres trousers. Oh, that's freaking good. That's a good healing set of pants. So that's why people don't care about the living leggings, because you can just go run Dire Maul and get that instead. So that makes sense. Or it's assuming, you know, you don't have 1,000 people rolling on it. And that would go back to my other thing I was talking about to kick the episode off. Just have dedicated single loot tables. Then, and even better, have those loot tables not drop loot that's not for your class. Sure, you're off spec, yes, because some people want to have other... I believe they kind of did something like that. I think retail has already kind of kicked around this concept. Might be wrong, but... At least in some formats. I don't know. I'm trying to kind of think about how it works. But a lot of games do it like that. Like, I mean, heck, Diablo does it like that. Like, there's no fighting over loot because it's all whatever drops is for each person. All right. See, when you go up the hill, he does seem to follow you sometimes. This little bozo. All right, so pulling ourselves through. Here we go, more kills. I think if I pull this guy, it's going to be too... Pull him with the fire. It's going to be too... Yeah, I was going to say, I have a feeling it's going to be 2 mobs. Work emails. Like I mentioned before in some previous episodes, it is the cray-cray busy time of year for me. So trying to... I did not succeed on my mission I mentioned earlier on one of my previous episodes where I'm like, if I could just work constantly. I had so many meetings this week and then just little things pop up. You just can't... When you go to the office, like... Somebody will ask me for like one form or something like that. Like somebody asked me for a particular form that hasn't existed. They haven't made a new version of this form since like 2022. So just something simple for like, and there's no like hard copy editable versions of this form. So someone requested that I make new master copies of this form so that people could use them. Fine, that kind of thing happens. And then I'll give it to someone else to go run it. But I will usually like find master copies and then give it to like my assistant or whatever, and they will go do all the like run work of stuffing boxes with it, you know, running copies and blah 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 blah. But, okay, we got another feather. Where are we at? 38. 2 more and we'll check again. I'm gonna go to this side. I don't want to fight the chieftain right now. I want to pull him back to my base, though. Actually, you know what? I'll just make a base right here. Since the base is about to expire. Anyway, but like, the fact that this didn't exist, then I had to basically work with like, a PDF editing program mixed with like, between, splitting the difference between what would be easier to do something like that, or to just print off an old copy and then like physically cover up the old years, because basically we just didn't want it having the years on there, because it was unnecessary to even have the years for this particular thing. So, like, that basically turned into like half an hour of work, or whatever. Like, somebody will ask me for basic help because, anybody that is tech competent on a job site knows, a shocking number of adult professionals are not tech savvy. So anything from like repairing the giant copy machine at work to like using the IP address of a printer to like activate, to allow someone that moved into a new office to print in their own office or whatever. Just little things like that. It's easy the amount of people that can't do it. Alright, we just got another headdress. We're at 40, so that's 400 rep. So we're at 1,700. So that will leave us with 1,300 next time. I think we stop here. I'm gonna stop here. So that means we have 1,300 rep, and today that means we got a little bit more, just over 1,000 rep today. So tomorrow's episode is gonna run along. It's gonna run a little long because we basically have everything we did today plus 300 rep to do. So the same amount of travel. We're going to have to still do one quest on the Berserk Owl Beast, 10 instead of 13, but I don't anticipate it being less time because they're slightly more rare. So tomorrow's episode is going to probably be, not probably, almost definitely be a little longer. And this one's already 2 hours, but it is what it is. I'm ready to finish this zone. I guess I'll feel it out. You never know, like, might get to tomorrow and be like, nah, I have an hour worth of content left, and I'll just push that out to later in the week. That's also a possibility, but I do really want to get... Alright, so that's all our feathers. Okay, so we are sitting at an even 1,700 rep. Yeah, so we gained just over 1,000 today. See how it goes. All right, thank you everybody so much for joining me on my journey today. I appreciate it. If you liked it, you know what you got to do. Help the channel grow. Like, subscribe, leave a comment. Check me out on the Patreon, where I do it all for Assassin's Creed 2. We'll be back in this forest, getting this grind going again tomorrow. Peace out. This episode in the pipe 5x5.